Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Taib from masterkicks.com, and today we are going to learn how to spot the fake Jordan 14 Hyper Royal. Now, this came out on Saturday. It was relatively limited, but I had a chance to go there and get it. So I went to my local mall, stood in the line because I guess they got their shipment a little late. So I was able to snatch a size on 12. Actually sold the shoe already, but I got some pictures together for you and did a side-by-side comparison between the fake that I've seen online. Unfortunately, I don't have the fake on hand, so it's a lot harder. I had a guy that actually was sending me a fake shoe for me to do the comparison, but he stopped because he wanted me to promote his fakes, and I told him, dude, the only thing that I can do is just do the comparison, but I can't promote your fakes. So I guess he didn't want to send the shoe to me anymore. So hey, it is what it is, and that's all right. I'm gonna go back to what I used to do. So I have the authentic on hand right now. I have it, but I'm gonna show you how to authenticate your own shoe. So let's start off with the pictures. And by the way, before I get into that, I actually talked about the Jordan 13 Lucky Green. This is coming out on Saturday, and it's gonna cost about $190. So I wrote an article this morning talking about how many pairs were made, resale value, and where to get the shoe. So if you want to read the article, it's available on my website now, houseofkicks.com. Check the link in the description. I'll give you the link for it. If you want to buy the shoe now, you can also do that. So I will invite you to check that out today. So let's go back to why we are here. So now the first thing I'm going to start with is the tongue. Okay, let me move my picture out of the way. Now the first thing you want to see is this. Like if you look at the holes on the extension on the tongue, on the fake pair, the holes are like very small. You can see how small they are, and they are more distant from one to the next. Like the distance between the holes is like wider on the fake pair than it is on the authentic. I'm gonna give you a closer look. If you see on mine here, my holes are like bigger, and the distance between them is like smaller on the authentic. Okay, that's one thing, is the holes on the extension of the tongue. And the next thing, again, we're going to go back to the tongue again. Now if you look closely at this portion of it, you can see that it's like some kind of a hexagonal shape. It looks like a honeycomb on the authentic. On the fake pair, is nowhere to be seen. Those shapes are like blurred. You can't even see it. You can't see the definition. You can't see that. If you look at your shoe closely now, you will see these hexagonal shapes. And also on the Jordan text. Now I looked at my size. I'm like, maybe it's because my size is size 12. This is why this Jordan text is like placed right there. You almost feel the entire tongue tab, and there's basically no space in between the O and the edge. On the fake pair, you can see that they put that Jordan is like almost like adjacent to the top, and there's a gap here at the bottom. I thought it's because of the size of the shoe, but it didn't have anything to do with the size. You can check your shoe as well. I might be wrong, but what I've seen is this. There is no spaces on my authentic pair. Now, I'm also going to show you that this insert here, the blue insert, is kind of busted on the fakes, and you're going to see a lot of that on like fake shoes, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the carbon fiber. Now, the carbon fiber, you can see, like, this picture doesn't do it justice, so I'm going to show you other pictures, but on the authentic, the carbon fiber is like vibrant, it's like really glossy and shiny. On the fake is like dull and flat. I'm going to show you a picture and you will see right away. You see the difference here? You see how much more vibrant it is on the authentic? Vibrant, it's more like you can kind of see it, it's glossy. On the fake pair, it's like dull and just dormant. It's just really flat. Okay, and may I also mention that this blue here, it's like shiny, it's really like vibrant. On the fake pair, it's like dull, and the paint job is just really poor on it. I'm gonna show you another picture of the carbon fiber. Let me get that. You see here, okay? Look at it. You see, like you can tell the difference between the authentic and the fake pair. The fake is like really just like flat, man. Like you can't see it. And on the authentic, this blue highlight, like I said, is really shiny, sparkly. On the fake pair, it's not. It's just not. It's just very flat. And this is things that jumps out at you when you see both shoes like next to one another. And then the next thing, one of the big mistakes too, is actually, before I get to that, let me show you the back. Now the back of the shoe, that's one thing that I also wanted to mention. I hesitated, but I'm like, you know what, let me mention this. If you take your shoe, if you are in a closed space, not outside your house, this tire track should be off-white. It shouldn't be like snow white. So you can tell the difference here. Like this is outside, so obviously it's gonna be snow white, but for you inside, it should be like off-white. And then the gap between the 23 and the edge of the midsole is like smaller on the authentic pair. Now I was like, maybe should I mention that, because this my size is size 12, but I looked at like size 9 online, size 10. This gap here was always smaller like this on the authentics, and the fake pair the gap is much wider. That's one thing you want to keep in mind too. Okay, so do that. And then the biggest thing that I've noticed was the bottom here, the air chamber. This is like high technology. So Nike knows what Nike is doing. Even you can see here, you see like this netting here, you can see the grill, you can see the holes, and this is halfway. On the fake pair is like all over there. It occupies the entire space, and I don't even see the holes. I don't even know if you could get any cooling from this fake pair. You don't even see, it's almost like closed. It's like a closed window. I don't even know why they have it. So it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. You can see it. I'm gonna give you a closer look at it, and I'm gonna show it to you on my shoe. You can see it. This is halfway. You can see the netting. You can see the holes right here. Nothing. All right. And then another thing that I wanted to show you is the grooves at the bottom. Let's look at that. Now, if you look at the authentic, like the peaks are very pointy. Like you can see this, like these peaks are like pointy. On the fake pair, they're like curvy. Like you see this like curves. It's not very pointy here. See that? I'm gonna give you a closer look at it. You can see what I'm talking about. You see that? See, this is pointy and this is like curvy. You can look at your shoe and check that out for yourself. And then the last thing we are going to talk about is the label, the inside label. Now, oftentimes people want to talk about the production date. Okay, the production date to me is important. It's an important piece, because this fake here was produced on January the 22nd. So it's an earlier production date. The authentic, the production didn't start till like the 19th of February on the pair that I have on hand. Now your pair may say something else, but I think if I come across a shoe that looks like this, I'm not even going to bother to buy it. I'm just going to stay away from it. And then I wanted to mention this gap on this line. Now, is it important for me to mention this gap? I think it is, because on my authentic pair there is a gap. On the fake pair I don't see a gap. Should I mention it? Of course. And also I wanted to mention the fact that the inside label is placed almost like an inch away from the top of this the inside of the tongue. On the authentic, on the fake pair, the gap is wider. Should I mention it? I think I should mention it. And if you look at the contour itself, like you can see that there's like a clear definition here. Here I feel like it's homogeneous. You don't really see the contrast. And if you look at the inside of the label, the writings, the font is barely legible. You can't really decipher what is written over there. On the authentic, it's really clear. So those are things I feel like I still need to mention. Now, to give you a quick recap, I want to show you my shoe, and I want to tell you exactly what to look for. So this is the shoe that I have. This is authentic. So the first thing you want to look at is this, like I mentioned earlier. You want to look at this Jordan here, right? This Jordan. Now, you see mine occupies the entire space. On the fake pair, we saw that there was a space between the O and the bottom. The space was really like significant. And also you want to look at the honeycomb here on your tongue. I don't know if you can see it on my camera here. It's not really doing it justice, but we're not going to waste time on that. And the next thing is you want to look at this air chamber here. See, on the authentic is halfway. On the fake pair, it occupies the entire space. You can't even see it on the fake pair. Like you can't even see it. You see on mine, you see how clear it is halfway. And then the carbon fiber is really shiny on my authentic pair. And then we're gonna look at the grooves. The grooves are pointy on the authentics and then curvy on the fake pair. So I'm just giving you a quick recap, but just watch the entire thing and you will see what I'm talking about. If you see that the back of my shoe here is like off-white, is not like snow white. Okay, and the spacing, we talk about our spacing as well. Just go back and rewatch the entire video. But I hope this helps you guys out. And if you want to buy the shoe now, I have links for you in the description. I will have a link for you. You can buy it. I'll just give it to you on my description. All right. Again, thanks for watching, and be sure to check me out on my next video. And have a wonderful day. Thank you.